Thanks for joining us once again on Emerald Downs Weekly. 1 hour of thoroughbred racing talk centered around Emerald Downs. Joe Withey, along with Gary Doherty and Phil Ziegler. Hey, you guys are smiling nice today. We're ready for an hour of talk. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening, and maybe good morning, too, because the show airs Thursday at 11 and Fridays at 9 a.m., so it could be morning for some folks. But
not morning for me.
Not morning. No, you're not up at 9 a.m.
Not usually.
No.
Well, okay. We'll have more about the Trifecta King and his life on this show today. But again, thanks for joining us. We have a 3-day race weekend at Emerald Downs, and get right to those post times. We start at 6:30 on Friday nights, 5 p.m. on Saturdays, and 2 p.m. on Sundays, and another action-packed weekend in store. And just a couple days after Sunday, we'll be racing again. Fellas, the Fireworks Spectacular coming up Tuesday, July 3rd.
I've heard rumors the best one ever. Right, Phil?
The biggest show.
Biggest.
More shells than ever. And that's a great show right there.
That
Very
is
nice.
A beautiful sight from the west, looking back to Emerald Downs, and started the fireworks show in our second season. It is a tradition in South King County, the 3rd of July, when people are ready for the holiday, and we have a lot of entertainment in Emerald Downs. First race will be 5 p.m. on Tuesday, July 3rd. Actually, go back to the gates opening at 9:45 a.m. We'll have movies on the big screen and then that show, and it is promised to be even bigger and better than ever, and it has been awesome over the years, fellas.
Yeah, It's going to be fun. And, the whole day is fun if you come out and watch movies on the big screen starting at 11. We got this huge big screen to watch, and that'll keep the kids entertained, and people come and spend the whole day, and then horse racing, and we have the retros playing in the park, and then the fireworks show. As soon as the skies get nice and dark, a little after 10 o'clock it starts, and it's probably the best show for an up-close view that you have in this entire region. Right, Gary?
I agree. From any floor, 6, 5, I know 6 has a bunch of groups every year that come out and watch it on floor 6. So it's always been a real great show. And also the kids during the evening before the show can get their face painted in the park. We have the face painters coming out for the evening, so that should be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, just a tremendous night at Emerald Downs. Tuesday, the 3rd of July. And, of course, racing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be off Monday. But the track is open 7 days a week for full card simulcasting from whichever tracks are running, not just in North America, but around the world. And, of course, the casino is open. The Clubhouse Casino on floor 5 is open till 2 a.m. 7 days a week. And you mentioned the Retros, pretty popular Northwest band, and music is the thing here at Emerald Downs now throughout the year.
Exactly. The Retros came out one time earlier this year. We had a great crowd on floor 5. They hadn't played in a while. It was a fantastic show. I was there for a few hours, had a great time, and we're looking for a band to come back on July 3. And me and Dean, the guy in charge of entertainment, says, let's bring the Retros. I said, that's a fantastic idea. So they'll be out here playing before the races and then after the fireworks.
Yep. Okay, yeah. We are looking forward to that. And again, Saturdays we've moved till a 5 p.m. post time. And after the races on floor 5, live music every Saturday night starts about 9 o'clock. Races go from 5 to 8:30. And this Saturday is Scottish night at Emerald Downs. As I try and throw in a little Scottish.
First time. This will be a matinee first race at 5 o'clock for Scottish, and then on Saturday is Irish Day. So back-to-back events.
Yep. Saturday night Scottish, Sunday
Sunday
afternoon Irish.
That's correct.
Celtic weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Irish dancers, they do a super job out in the winner's circle.
They'll be here on Sunday.
We're going to have a Scottish band on Saturday night as well as we go back and forth.
Scotch tasting as well. Nice little package for that on Saturday night. And then and the Irish Wolfhounds are going to be here. There they are.
Yeah,
good
size.
On Sunday. Those guys.
Could that be a wannabe in the wannabe race?
I mean, they're not fitting in the box, I don't think.
Yeah, we're looking for anything to race on our track at Emerald Downs. That's been our theme. People love it. And, yeah.
Dog's bigger than that kid.
Scottish Day and Irish Day. Saturday, June 30th for Scottish night, and Irish Day. First race, 2 p.m. We'll have the Irish Day Stakes. We'll have more on that later in the show. The stakes race for 3-year-old fillies at a mile and a 16th.
Joe, we have live music Saturday night. Foreigner band, tribute to Foreigner, and Def Leppard. That starts around 9 p.m. on Saturday night on the 5th floor.
Very good.
Free show.
Right after racing. Okay, Scottish Night, Irish Day at Emerald Downs. Of course, Irish Day was started by Murdoch McPherson back in our first season here at Emerald Downs, and the Irish Day Stakes came shortly after that. And, hey, something else that's starting out real soon is Breakfast at the Wire, hosted by Dean Mazuka. That's every Saturday morning in July and August. So Saturday, July 7th, kicks off Breakfast at the Wire, and it's breakfast, and it's near the wire. Yeah,
That's
the
right.
title works, doesn't it?
Special guests are there every week, and that 10 o'clock end time, then they do a mini tour from 10 to 11, then a stable tour at 11 a.m., so you can really make a whole beginning of the day for that one and have a great time here at the track and see areas of the track that you normally wouldn't on some of those tours and get in-depth interviews with, I think Rocco Bowen's going to be the guest in week 1, waiting for
Very good.
confirmation.
Rocco Bowen, our leading rider, going for his third consecutive Emerald Downs riding title. And, yeah, Breakfast at the Wire is free to attend. Just come in through the paddock gate, head up to the track level, and take a right, go down near the finish line, and you'll see the crowd, 8 to 10 a.m. And there are several breakfast options available there to dine. Dean Mazuka does a super job, too. He's one of our prominent horse owners. In fact, he's going to be profiled this coming week in the program as our owner profile individual. But Dean recognizes so many of those horses that are out training, and he can point them out, specific horses, while people watch morning training and dine and hear from the various guests that they have. Hey, we also have a jackpot Pick 7 carryover coming up Friday night. First race, 6:30. Always 7 races on Friday night. So the jackpot Pick 7 starts in race 1, and there's that carryover, Gary.
Yeah, over $6,000. Again, one unique ticket would take down all this money, plus some of the money that's bet on Friday night. You gonna play it this week, Phil?
We'll see, maybe.
That carryover starts
Some big
growing.
money.
And the daily handle on it moves up as well, so it moves around nicely when we get up to that level. Let's take a short break. We'll be back with much more racing and more from Emerald Downs on Emerald Downs Weekly. Stay tuned.
I'm going to play the Pick 7 with the Trifecta Kings picks.
See, now Phil is allowed to wager.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I
which is
don't,
good.
though. I don't. Not on the Pick 7.
No?
I can't even pick one.
A little rusty, huh?
Picked a good long shot last year.
Was that 2 years ago or last year?
Last year.
Last year? You retired?
In fact, was that a cold try?
Yes, it was.
Damn, man. Back to Emerald Downs Weekly. Thanks once again for joining us. Once again, Thursday nights at 11 p.m. and Friday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on NBC Sports Northwest. Joe Withy, Gary Doherty, and Phil Ziegler. Gary's pretty happy this particular show.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get to that. But let's go to Friday. This week past at Emerald Downs, Fab Friday, first race 6:30. And as usual, we have some beverage specials. The $1,000 horseshoe toss, live music, comes together pretty nicely. And Rocco Bowen has had, he's had more wins than any other jockey so far this year. But he also has had some very impressive stretch running winners. A couple days in a row there, a few weeks back, he had one Macho Gambler and the Monkey.
The Great Monkey?
The Great Monkey. They won from way off the pace. Well, he did it again on Friday night with a Joe Toy horse. Alley Boss was the name of the horse, and Alley Boss came in real sharp from Phoenix. 2 wins and a second from 3 starts this year, and here comes Rocco down the middle. And Alley Boss was no stranger to the bettors. A lot of people went toward him in the wagering, and we've seen Rocco with that down the middle move, Phil, quite a bit with his wins this year.
Yep, down the Rocco Highway, we call it. He's got that spot in the track, and especially lately the track has not been playing too favorable to speed, so those closers are doing well, and Rocco seems to find that spot in the middle of the track and gets it done.
That was the fastest time, or fastest buyer of the day that night was a 75 by Alley Boss, who's also won races at Santa Anita, Del Mar, and Tour Paradise. So this horse has been up and down the West Coast.
That's good data right
Good
there.
data?
And I know you keep up on those buyer figures real closely as well. But, yeah, Alley Boss comes in sharp, wins another one, now 3 for 4 this year. That was his Emerald Downs debut. by the way, for that horse. And also the feature race on Friday night was exciting as well, as Guardian 1 broke alertly from the starting gate, and she was in it all the way. And then the 3-year-old filly, Hold That Smile, challenged her. But there's Gary Wales on the inside with a vigorous ride aboard Guardian 1, and she pulled away to win by more than 2 lengths at 4-1. Trained by Chris Stensley, owned by Tony and Brenna Lofton. There's Gary Wales aboard. Daughter of Coast Guard, Washington bred. Second win of the year already.
Here we go.
Yeah, if you were following the Emerald Downs program, a lot of information in that program. Some good information finally. In the program.
Yeah, we had the Trifecta King finally scored 2 4-1s there for first and second, and this weekend I was 2 for 3 with Father's Day. So the last 4 racing days, Phil, look at that, 3 winning trifectas. Hard to believe.
That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make up for some of the losses earlier on, but I think you're getting close to even now.
Well, see, he's got his profit from those 4 days on there, but what about the first 23 days of the meeting?
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah, we got the spreadsheet out. We'll go through and figure out the first 2 months, Joe.
That was impressive, though, that win on the 22nd, Friday night. That was a good one.
That's outstanding there, winning 3 out of 4 days, for sure.
That was Joe's top pick, right? Guardian Angel?
Yeah, I think we mentioned that on last week's Emerald Downs Weekly show.
That's right. He had a $10 winner last week.
Right.
Not me. I had Huggy Bear. He ran.
But see, it's awful easy to make those graphics when things are going good. You know, we didn't see many of those graphics in the first 23 days.
This is the first one, right, Phil?
Well,
the nice job. The Trifecta King scored nicely last week twice, and the Sunday before. So that was a highlight for Gary, anyway. On Friday.
I had a few selfies with a couple of fans who.
Well, you force yourself on
showed me their tickets, and I had to take pictures. I was all over social media that night, Phil. Did you see that?
Did that really happen?
Yeah. Oh, a friend's friend. She bet it. She had the picture. We took some selfies, and we're on the Trifecta King out in the grandstand level.
Okay.
A lot of people didn't know what was going on or who I was, but try to have some fun once in a while.
There you go. No, good job. Saturday at Emerald Downs, we had some exciting action on Saturday as well. And, Choreography won our feature race, and that horse went right to the front. And we had some closers winning on Saturday here at the track. I mean, it was a closing track this weekend. It was a little deeper than normal, but look at this break. Austin Solis and Choreography, we had a couple of real big closers coming at him. And that's
going 6.5 furlongs.
Yeah, Hey Sequoia coming up on the inside, and Wheel Rally, Bob Meeking's horse on the outside. Wheel Rally got second, but, hey, you made the winning break with Choreography.
Sandy Gann.
Yeah, Sandy's 2 for 4 at the meeting.
Yep.
Not a lot of people in the winner's circle there compared to what we're going to see here in a moment.
Glenn Todd was stimulating action probably up at Hastings that day. Of the North American Thoroughbred Company, the owner of Choreography, who's showed good speed. And also on Saturday, the Emerald Racing Club scored. And they come out in force. Of course, the club, nearly 200 members.
Yeah.
And Zanab, she's 2 for 2.
Outstanding.
Here she comes.
4 for her last 5. Vince Bruno's very excited to see her come running late and get the money.
So
exciting. And paid a pretty good price. I think 5 to 2.
That's a winner's circle.
That's great.
Wow. There you go. That's the opposite of what we just saw.
Where's the horse at?
Back there.
Oh, okay.
It's obviously with the club and the friends and family. They have to do it out on the track. There's Gary.
Gary gets his way into the
How did
front
you
of the
get in
camera.
there?
Well, he finds the camera, and I've noticed that now.
I was trying to make sure
trying to keep things organized.
A big U shape. It's we have a way of doing things down
You
here.
looked happy there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the club has got Zanab and 2 for 2 from the Sharon and Larry Ross barn. She has been an excellent acquisition. Again, 2 for 2, and that club, they put their money out a little bit, just $500 to start the year, and that's their only fee. And they've been lucky over the years.
They've been doing well, 2 wins already.
Yeah, the Emerald Racing Club. So Saturday's action here at the track, some stretch runners, a lot of closers, providing patience from the fans to wait for those horses to finish. Zanab was one of those. We've got a lot more to talk about, including Sunday racing last at Emerald Downs. A lot of interesting action going on and an excellent 10-race card, and we will get to that in a moment. So we'll take a short time out and come back with more on Emerald Downs Weekly. Where's those boxing gloves? We're ready.
Gary,
I'm ready.
Boxing?
Gary, you were thinking of those dollar beers, I think, when you were out there.
You know,
on the
I
track.
took the winnings from the Trifecta King and went up and watched Motley Crue and Kiss that night in the 5th floor.
There you go.
Bought beers, bought a round for everybody upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know.
Nobody believed it.
Emerald Downs Weekly right here on NBC Sports Northwest. Thanks for joining us. And we're talking Emerald Downs Racing last week. Many eventful heats and 10-race card on Sunday, including the Budweiser Stakes, as Reiser looked to remain undefeated in sprints at Emerald Downs. Well, overall, he'd only lost one race at this track, and that was by a head in last year's Seattle Slew. First of all, let's go earlier on the card. We had a maiden race for 2-year-olds and a couple of fillies in the race. And it was a short sprint, 4.5 furlongs. And the early leader there was Coast Guard Carter, and he's fading to third. But here comes Classic Leah, a filly by 6:13, first-time starter. On to victory under Patrick Henry Jr. for Vince Gibson. Paul Johnson, the owner. Reno Roy had a little bit of a rough start. He got second. But there's Patrick Henry. And the sire 613 already has two-year-old winners, first-time starters. His stats are going to be looking good.
Yeah, very impressive, too. And I think Paul Johnson had 2 horses in that race. One was bet down at 3-4 to 1, and his 12 to 1 shot got the money.
We love Paul.
Yeah,
I
Paul's
know
a
he
great guy.
had some money on that one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was happy.
Classic Leah, and often we see 2-year-old fillies beating the boys in early season maiden races. A lot of times the fillies are maybe a little bit more mature early, but Classic Leah certainly did. And another race of interest on Sunday was Tesla in race number 7. She had won just 2 starts back. She was having a good start this year. This is a filly by Papa Clem, and she's just going to pull away here at about 10 to 1. Trainer Alan Bozell beating Sugar Seeker, the heavy favorite, getting Joel in third. She comes into the winner's circle for trainer Alan Bozell. And that is Anne Sanguinetti aboard, Gary. And that's another 10 to 1 winner for Anne Sanguinetti in 2018 at Emerald Downs.
Unbelievable. That's now, 6 10 to 1 shots winners at the meet through only 27 days. So you do the math. She's on pace for 15 10 to 1 winners in one meet, and the most in the last 5 years is 10. So this is pretty amazing what Anne's doing. She keeps bringing them in week after week, right, Phil?
Yeah, well, she's not going to break the record only if people start betting her horses, which they probably will now.
Yeah, so you'd hope so.
Yeah.
Tremendous figure for Anne Sanguinetti. She had, and then she followed up the 7th race with a win on Endangered, who was 9 to 1.
9 to 1, yeah.
She won 2 straight on Sunday afternoon here at Emerald Downs. So Anne Sanguinetti, her ROI, return on investment, if you were betting every mount that she had this year for $2, Gary, it is up there. I don't know if you have that exact figure, but you'd be way ahead.
You'd basically double your money. And if you bet $20 on all her mounts, every mount, win or lose, you would double all your money bet.
Okay.
That's pretty impressive.
So Anne Sanguinetti, keep an eye on her. What a season she's having.
On to the main event.
She's had a couple big upset stakes wins at this track,
Yeah.
too. Okay, yeah, the main event was race number 4.
We're waiting for this one.
The Budweiser Stakes, and Reiser had beaten Barkley and Mach 1 Rules. Of course, we know that rivalry. And here it is again.
You're going to win
on
again.
Sunday.
Easy winner, right?
Here is Reiser pulling away down to 2 to 5 in the wagering. Juan Hernandez came up to ride once again, as he had in the Governors. Dedicated to You gets up for second over Mach 1 Rules. Where's
See that.
Barkley?
Pay attention to that. That battle for fourth.
For
Well,
fourth.
the battle
Or
for
fifth.
fourth. How about the battle for second? Dedicated to You over Mach 1 Rules. And, well, that was the end of the race. But the start of the race brought some oohs and ahs and gasps from the crowd as they saw the head-on replay. Reiser's the gray in the number 1 slot. Ooh.
Oh, comes
He
over.
Comes over to the right, and he hits Barkley.
He hit Barkley.
And Barkley drops back. You can't tell how many lengths
I'm watching
there,
it again
but
now, Joe. Watch it again.
Yeah.
Little
Ooh,
bump.
Barkley's a little sideways back
Little
there.
bump.
He may have lost his breath.
No.
Oh, he
So
got hit pretty good there.
what-
Nah.
Watch it again, Phil. Come on.
You got to watch the
he
pan
breaks
shot.
he breaks
Reiser
right out into his
sideways.
path.
All right.
and
Boy.
hits Barkley. And what did the stewards decide? Well, they took Reiser down, and the 2-5 favorite was not the official winner. Dedicated to You, who got up over Mach 1 rules in those final yards for second, was moved up to first and officially the winner of the Budweiser Stakes. And Reiser, since he did bother Barkley at the start, had to be put behind that horse that he affected, so he was placed last in the field of 5. And I didn't hear any boos out there, did you? And it's odd because the favorite was taken down.
Well, there's a lot of conversation going on, I know, and I don't know. I mean, we've argued about this in the office
Well,
quite a
let's
bit.
get to it.
I just, because Barkley gets off kind of slow anyway, and yeah, he was bothered, but if you watch the stretch of that race, he had every opportunity to pass, Magellan, who was finishing fourth. Magellan.
Yep.
So Barkley wasn't going to win the race. Barkley wasn't going to finish third or second, and he certainly wasn't going to beat Reiser under any circumstances. And I just think taking Reiser, who was so much the best, and placing him last, yes, he committed a foul. He committed a foul. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Right? There was a foul, but now you have to determine what Barkley would have done had the foul not been committed. Maybe he finishes fourth, but he had every opportunity to finish fourth and still didn't.
I
You
think
can't determine what Barkley would have done if he hadn't have been fouled. You can't do that. That's
foul was
a totally different scenario.
the foul was so egregious that it basically gave Barkley no chance to compete in the race.
But
And
Barkley
that should be
gets
your
off
first
last
question.
anyway.
Well, he got wiped out
no.
sideways, lost 4 or 5 links, didn't he?
I know what you mean. You said no chance to compete in the race.
Yeah,
he
for
had a
first
chance
place.
to compete, but he was compromised.
Greatly.
Links, yes.
Yeah,
he was
very good.
compromised. So, it's a tough call, but
Had he-
why if Reiser would have broke straight,
He hardly broke stride there. I mean, yeah, he got off. He lost a length or two.
he lost, I think, a little bit more
I'd
than
say
that.
5,
When we
6
come
seconds.
back from break, we're gonna
I would say
I
3.
want to see the pan shot of that again. I don't know.
How about
it
the
wasn't that
bridge
bad.
jumpers?
It's a lot easier to win if
Bridge jumpers
you
lost too.
bother your competition at the start. Now,
Well, here's the other
Reiser
thing.
was the best horse.
He was.
There's no question
I
about
But
agree.
doesn't that
But
happen
there's-
that happens in so many races?
I don't know if it happens that egregiously.
Yeah.
If
He
there's
came
no
right
rules,
out.
then Reiser wins. But we do have rules.
Yeah, but I don't think Barkley would have finished any. I mean, I like Barkley. I picked him to win. I just
You
don't
did,
think he
that's
wasn't
right.
going to finish any better
Well,
than maybe fourth. And I
that's
don't
hard
think he
to
would have
say.
gotten that.
It's
He
really
got
hard
wiped.
to
We're
say.
going to come back. This
He
is
got
to be
wiped
continued.
out.
Okay. Well,
We got another
that
race
was
to
our
show after break
first-
that was a similar
Yeah.
circumstance to this.
first disqualification from a victory in an Emerald Down Stakes race since 2011.
And who
Not the
got
trivia
who
question.
got moved up that day?
Rainier Ice was put down and Zeta was put up. Okay, we need to take a time out. We're going to keep talking
Yes.
about the Budweiser Stakes at Emerald Downs. Stay with us here on NBC Sports Northwest.
Blind right train Zeta.
2-1 on this one, I
right.
guess.
So Blaine
The
got moved
minority.
up. Blaine got moved up. He got moved down. So.
All right. Waited
Seinfeld
6 years to
episode,
get
it
in.
all evens out.
Yeah, even Steven.
Yeah.
All right.
Emerald Downs Weekly here on NBC Sports Northwest. Thanks for joining us talking about last Sunday's Budweiser, the first DQ from a winning horse in an Emerald Downs Stakes race since 2011. Reiser, a super dynamic horse, had a little trouble at the start and
Sure
was
did.
disqualified by the stewards who were hired by the Washington Horse Racing
Here's the
Commission.
pan shot.
Yeah, and
That's such a slight check.
you can see Juan Hernandez. Oh boy, he must have his heart must have been in his mouth there, as he hit Reiser, and then he straightened him out. You could see his hands, and Reiser dropped back, or Barkley dropped back a little farther than normal.
Yeah, a couple of lengths. There's no doubt a foul was committed, and no doubt he's going to lose right here a little
I'd say
bit
he
of a.
loses 4 or
But
5
that
lengths.
happens in almost every race that you
I
can
don't know
watch.
about that severe.
Somebody is going to get off to a bad start. He's with the field. He has every chance, certainly, to finish third or fourth, and he doesn't. He doesn't pass any horses. I know it was a foul. I just don't think they should have disqualified Reiser.
No.
Hey, the same thing happened in 2014
Oh
in a
boy.
very famous race
There
with
we
the
go.
Breeders' Cup.
7 horse. Baron. He wiped
Bayern
out 3 or 4
broke
horses.
right
Joe.
into
Yep,
Shared Belief.
Shared Belief.
And here comes Shared Belief getting stopped again. But Bayern, look at 7 breaking to our right into Shared Belief, who bumps the 5. Bayern goes on with it. And Toast of New York came over, and Shared Belief had a terrible first quarter mile, even later before the clubhouse turn.
Yeah.
But
That was
Bayern
Mike
went on
Smith.
to win that race.
Right, and that was Mike Smith on Shared Belief, right?
Yeah.
And
there was
I
a-
think his comment was he thought he would have won the race had that interference not happened, yet the stewards looked at that for
After 20 minutes,
Yes.
they spent forever looking at that.
and they decided to leave it because they said
And-
that's
ooh.
a part of the race where they're a little bit more forgiving where stuff happens,
Yeah.
racing luck happens.
Well, I think a big part of why they didn't take him down was it because it was a mile and a quarter race, and
That's
Shared
true.
Belief finished fourth.
He had plenty
And
of time during that running
they're-
to make up
Well,
another
Some of the
spot.
thinking.
I would say the same
But-
thing in 6.5
Yeah.
furlongs. You
Well,
have plenty of time to
Well, I
show
thought
some.
Bayern should have been taken down
Absolutely.
there. I mean, that
You disagree with that?
They had a press conference the next
I
day.
disagree with that one too.
They had a press
That's
conference
kind of
at
the-
Santa Anita the next day
No.
because people were so hot and why this horse was not disqualified for coming out and wiping out 3 or 4 horses.
It's in a, let's make this clear though. I mean, this is an impossible situation for any judge or stewards
tough.
to look at, whether it's the Breeders' Cup or stakes or even a claiming race anywhere. When that happens at the start, how do you determine the foul is committed? Do I take this horse from first and place him in this case last because of this foul that happened? You know, somebody's going to be upset and disagree with it no matter what you do.
It's tougher at the start, of course. If that
Pass interference in football. I
if
mean,
those
what
same-
is it?
If
you know?
those same things had happened at the 16th pole yesterday, Sunday's Budweiser or the Breeders' Cup Classic, it would have been easy. Take down that horse. He came over, he bumped in. But when it happens at the start, it's still affecting the performance, and it's a little harder to judge how egregiously in the end. You have to kind of perceive the future.
So I got one question for you guys. Here's what this does, though. First of all, it sets up a very intriguing division
Seattle
that
Slew
up till
next.
this
Yep.
point had not had a lot of excitement or drama in
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
But the other thing I have to wonder is when you take a look now at who the leading candidate for Horse of the Meet is, how do you rate the fact that Riser has dominated in 2 starts but has only 1 win and a last place finish to show for those 2 races? How do you factor that in?
Well, there's a lot of racing to go. I'll say
I
that.
guess so.
We
So
don't have to
we have something
decide
to look
yet.
forward to.
Yeah, Riser is
Yeah.
a super dynamo. In fact, that's one of the reasons it was such an aggressive move at the start. Not a lot of horses could break like that. Even he is just so fast and powerful. Anyway, they'll meet again in the Mount Rainier Stakes in July here at Emerald Downs, most probably.
Well, hopefully, Riser. What if Riser draws the rail on that one, Phil?
Well,
It could happen.
distance is, I mean,
It's 50-50.
Well,
He either will or he won't.
The
Okay.
rail post is a.
Let's
could be
go on
tricky.
to the Irish Day Stakes at Emerald Downs.
this will
That is
continue in the
weekend.
office. We
Yeah.
will continue arguing about this, right?
over pizza.
Let's take a look at an Irish Day Stakes from previous years. 2014 is a pretty good year. That's Find Your Spot in the middle of the track on the rail is Chew and You. Chew and You had a great career. She raced 12 times, won 4 stakes races here. But Find Your Spot was a little bit better in the Irish Day that year. And that's Isaias Enriquez aboard for trainer Jim Penny. And Jim Penny with another stakes win. Find Your Spot went on to become the state champion that year. She also won at Santa Anita and Golden Gate in the same 2014 year. That was an Irish Day from the past. This year, Bella Mia, our state champion juvenile, coming off a win in the Kent, could be the favorite again for trainer Blaine Wright, who was, of course, the trainer of Riser.
Yeah, Blaine's got a lot of good horses in all these categories. Isaias, by the way, could it be possible that maybe he comes back to ride Mach 1 Rules next time? Possibly.
Hey, he rode him awful well last year, didn't he?
So
And, you know, we didn't give much credit to Barbara Ratcliffe of the Coal Creek Farm. She's the breeder and owner of Dedicated to You, who got his first stakes victory. He was third in the mile last year at 82-1.
I know.
So he is no slouch. Rocco was pretty proud of his ride. Rocco Bowen on Dedicated to You didn't see what happened at the start. He was more outside. He was interested in getting that horse to relax, take him back early, make a run. It worked for second, which is $10,000, but he ended up getting first, $27,500 on the disqualification.
And Rocco can't wait to go 2 turns with this horse.
Sure.
You know, stretching out, like you said, ran third in the mile. So could be some big things happening later in the meet for this horse.
Okay. Some drama at Emerald Downs this past weekend.
controversy. That's what
yeah,
you said,
controversy.
right? After your interview.
How about trivia? Last week's question did not produce any winning
I wonder
emails.
why.
Name the Emerald Derby winners who've won the Long Acres Mile. Well, I didn't get any emails because
What's the answer?
None.
None? Is none a horse?
None is the name of the horse. Yeah, this.
Gary, I would expect something like this from you.
There were no winners. Yeah, that was my question.
Little
But
minutious.
it just shows that it's totally different from your 3-year-old year to your 4-year-old year. And Riser was our Emerald Derby winner last year, and he figures to be on track for the Long Acres Mile, so maybe he'll break that streak, which goes back, by the way, to the 60s at Long Acres. No Long Acres Derby winner since King's Favor in the 60s won the Long Acres Mile. This week's question, which jockey has the most consecutive riding titles at Emerald Downs? Send your answers to trivia@emeralddowns.com. Which jockey has the most consecutive riding titles at Emerald Downs?
You're feeling guilty for making a tough, impossible question last week, so you made it easy this
Did I
week.
give you enough time to
Easier.
criticize my question? Okay, we have more to talk about on Emerald Downs Weekly, and we shall do that in a moment. Stay with us.
Question with no answer. And we got no answers.
Yeah.
Because there was no answer.
Okay, I
There's no
screwed
answer.
up.
There was no answer.
And I've got a big trivia brain too. I didn't come through on that one.
No answer.
Emerald Downs Weekly, right here on NBC Sports Northwest. Yeah, Joe Withy, Gary Doherty, and Phil Ziegler. And hope you've been joining us. A little lively banter back and forth today on a controversial race at Emerald Downs. Well, there was another tie to Washington racing in the Midwest this past weekend. The Ohio Derby at Thistledown was won
500,000.
by won by Core Beliefs, an up-and-coming 3-year-old by Quality Road. And here he comes down the middle. Core Beliefs. He is going to go on and take the Ohio Derby. And, yeah, his dam. Oh, he's on the rail, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, he's on the outside.
right there.
Sorry.
Yep.
I watched it live. Out of Tahati, Gary, you pointed that out to me.
Yeah, Tahati made her career debut right here at Emerald Downs for Tim McGanna and Quadrant Farm. And Richard Wright dipped in for $25,000 and bought the filly at the time. And she went on to win 4 races here at Emerald Downs in high claiming events. So she was a very nice horse.
Yep.
So it was neat to see one of her horses running in a big race for 3-year-olds and getting the money.
Yep.
Very exciting.
Tahati, regular at Emerald Downs for several seasons. The dam of Core Beliefs, a very up-and-coming 3-year-old winner at the Ohio Derby. And how about Owner Silks? We talked about that a little bit last week. And Owner Silks, of course, come in all colors and designs. And we caught up with a few owners over this past weekend. But before we hear from a couple, Ron Crockett, of course, he's our leading all-time owner in wins and earnings. He went to Renton High School, red and white, the colors of his high school, his alma mater. He grew up in Renton. And also the airplane, the wing symbol there as well. Ron made his living at Boeing, and then he started Tramco, another airline-related business. So those are Ron's silks, very prominent here. How about the silks worn by the jockeys who rode Noosa Beach? If not the top horse in Emerald Downs history, right up there. That is the silks of Jeff Harwood. And Doris kind of had the design going from her ranch, Running River Ranch, and then Jeff has 5 kids. There's 4 stripes on one side, 3 on the other. Anyway, total of 7 stripes. Jeff has 5 kids, and Doris and Jeff make 7. And Doris liked turquoise. Jeff liked turquoise. Doris liked pink. So that's the Noosa Beach. Did I get that out okay?
Yep.
Mark DiDomenico, of course, he used to own horses with his father, Paskey, with the yellow silks with the D, and then Paskey did pass away several years ago, and Mark went with the pink silks with the D for DiDomenico. Pink, well, at the time there weren't a ton of those silks, but they were easy to spot. Now there's a lot of red and pink silks out there, but those are distinctive here all around the country. Of course, the jockeys who rode Blind Luck had those silks on them. And the Spooners, well, theirs is pretty self-explanatory there. Yeah, Spooner Berry Farms out of Olympia. There are number 2 owners all time. 2 and Sims 2 Sue and Tim Spooner. And, yeah, their silk's very popular. And a lot of employees took
Yes, their
part.
strawberries are pretty popular, too, and
right.
good.
And there's several silks and a couple more. Don Munger, how about Don? Part of Washington Racing for 7 decades. Green was his color, according to his wife Wanda. And, of course, Don did pass away last June in the Big M near the mountain, Mount Rainier. But those are Don silks. And then our track vice president, Jack Hodge, he has had a lot of winners here at Emerald Downs. Oak Crest, well, he had some 50-some oak trees, pin oak trees, on his lane at his farm in Enumclaw. Still has most of them. And he just kind of worked around, he said, with the colors, the blue and the gray, and the design. Oak Crest Farm of Jack Hodge, prominent owner here. And let's hear from a couple other owners here at Emerald Downs and how they got their silks.
They date back to, when I first got my trainer's license at Suffolk Downs in 74, 75, and I had a couple of horses, and we just wanted to get some silks for them, and we were sitting around and decided that we'd do the environmental thing. It was a big deal back then, and still is, but so we did the sky, the earth, and the sun, and they've been with us ever since, so there we go.
Well, we wanted something with name recognition, so actually Griffin is a mythological creature. It's got the wings and head of an eagle and the body of a lion, and it's on the heraldic flags and has lots of history. So we thought maybe people would associate the Griffin with the Griffins. And then when we went to Hong Kong one year, we found out that a Griffin is a maiden horse in Hong Kong, so that was kind of cool to know too. So that's how it came. The color, I don't know, Griffith green, I don't know.
Mary Lou Griffin, Larry Ross explaining how they came up with their silks, and we'll have more of those in upcoming weeks here on Emerald Downs Weekly. Owner silks, Phil, you ever given that some thought, how you might come up with if you had to design some?
I don't know, I'd probably put a picture of my dog on there, my 2 dogs. I don't know what I'd do, but I know what Gary would do, right?
Well, yeah.
Oh, there you go. I have them. That's perfect, guys. That could be, yeah. A little minion. I love my minions.
There's minions for
that would
Phil.
that would make great silks.
Gary would have the crown on there somewhere.
Gary, what would you be?
Well, you know what?
I think we got a shot of this. There it is.
Really?
There's a referee thing going on. The trifecta king, a little hat.
Jeez.
Is that a unicorn? Or is that a horse?
It's a fast horse, Joe.
The referee.
I remember when growing up and going to Lioners in high school and college.
Oh boy, what is that on there? Are those pepperoni pizza sleeves?
Maybe.
That's a sad clown.
God.
Remember the
TV and you? Are you getting along with our TV department at all? I don't know.
We're sparring. Remember the one back in the day with the black 8-ball on the green silks?
Yeah.
The Gibsons?
Those are at my desk right now.
That was one I always liked.
We've got a description from Homer. Should I give it away? There were 8 Gibson brothers. That's
8
why he
Gibson
came up
brothers.
with the 8-ball. Yeah. I think, well, I don't know. I've never designed them myself. I'm in with David Israel, and he's had the same ones.
Joe's here?
Secretariat was my favorite, probably my first favorite horse, and those blue and white
The
blocks
mustache.
of Meadow Stable always look pretty good to me. So I don't, something tactical speed. Okay, I've used that phrase a few times. In
I
my
think
broadcasting
all these
career.
would be illegal in New York. They have very strict rules.
Okay, well, we'll stay in Washington then, okay? All right, more on silks later and more on Emerald Downs Weekly coming up. Stay tuned.
It'll be a fast.
They track us fast. Right? That's what Tom says. I like the referee thing.
That
You
wasn't
guys
bad.
pull that off at. Jeez. Unbelievable. Look at that one.
The body type's pretty similar, isn't it? Got a similar body type.
Good.
Emerald Downs Weekly, once again, Thursday nights at 11 p.m. and Friday mornings at 9 a.m. You can catch the show 1 hour, and it's also on YouTube as well. After the show's over for a couple of days, you can go back and check out our arguments and things. As we've talked about, Emerald Downs last week upcoming, lots of events upcoming. We mentioned Scottish Night Saturday, an Irish Day this coming Sunday, all the flavor of Ireland, and the Irish Day Stakes for 3-year-old fillies, plus a nice little giveaway involved there too, Phil.
Yeah, a chance for somebody at the track will win 2 round-trip tickets from Seattle to Dublin.
Wow.
Courtesy of Aer
Nice.
Lingus. They just started nonstop service from Seattle to Dublin, I think, maybe a month or 2 ago. So in order to help promote that, they've given us a couple of round-trip tickets to give away.
That
No,
is-
Gary, you're not eligible for that, but we'll be picking the winner on Sunday for that great prize.
Yes, and also all Emerald Downs Rewards members can come out and get a voucher, a mutual, or what kind of voucher is it?
Mystery.
A mystery voucher,
That's right.
where top prize is what, 25,000?
Maybe 100.
Okay, it's $100.
$100.
Everybody swipe your voucher through the kiosk, and you'll get 2, 5, 20, or 100. And I've got like 15 or 20 cards, Phil, so this is going to be a fun promotion. We'll run those through and see how much I can pick up.
Yes.
How much you can pick up?
Well,
Yeah, so
brothers.
much wrong with that.
Oh,
Just going
boy.
to let them believe it.
okay.
And- okay, so this weekend, come on out to Emerald Downs again, 6:30 Friday night, 5 p.m. on Saturday, 2 p.m. Sunday are post times. And racing on July 3rd, Tuesday the 3rd, first race at 5 p.m. You can come in early and claim your spot. Gates open at 9:45 a.m. And why? To claim your spot, in case you missed earlier. The Fireworks Spectacular after racing on Tuesday night, July 3rd, here at Emerald Downs. And we are promised a bigger show than ever. And it's been plenty entertaining over the last 20 years here at Emerald Downs. So the Fireworks Spectacular coming up. And shortly after that, much more at the track, Phil.
Well, I'll let Gary take the next one because the following Saturday night, July 7th,
July 7th is Ladies' Night.
Ladies' Night.
Nice.
We'll have a DJ performing some good songs that ladies like. DJ Murray, he might even dress up as Prince. He'll be up by the Winner's Circle. That's on July 7th. We'll have music afterwards on the 5th floor. So that should be a very fun evening here at the racetrack.
Pre-admission.
Pre-admission for ladies.
Yeah.
And, that wine and
Chocolate.
chocolate festival we're going to have. And guys are welcome. So couples or guys, if you're a fan of wine and chocolate, you can also buy a ticket for that. And I also heard a rumor that the T-Rexes that were here last year are going to show up again on that night.
They
So,
might. Yeah, we'll have an area out by the Winner's Circle where you can dance if you like to some good music. Find the guy and dance and watch the races, make some money. So that should be a fun.
Find
fun
a guy.
night.
You mean you? Right?
Well, if I might be out or in the trifecta King Hat, and I'll do
Ladies, how can you resist that?
one dance and one selfie. That works. Yes.
Okay.
A selfie
How
with
much
the
you gotta pay
trifecta
for
king.
that? Not
Yeah.
that I'm interested
It's
or anything.
free.
That night they'll be complimentary.
Complimentary.
Yep.
And, Wiener Dogs, not too far after that either, Phil.
The next day on Sunday the 8th, it's one of our favorite events. And Wiener Dogs and Wiener Wannabes will be in action. We'll have 32, I believe, of each, 4 races of each, and then 2 championship races at the end. There's Anderson Pooper. She's always participating here at Emerald Downs. And lots of dog owners. We do Wiener Wannabes, and then, of course, in August we do the Corgi races. And it's just so much fun to see these folks come out with their little dogs, and they don't always run straight.
No.
And they bring their friends and relatives to cheer on their dogs as well. It's always a big crowd at Emerald Downs on Wiener Dog afternoon. And look at those dogs rip down the track at Emerald Downs.
They
Tom-
got a big trophy, right? Big trophy.
yeah.
And you always interview the winner, Joe. There you go. Look at that trophy.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than the person and way bigger than the dog.
We got a wannabe here he's added some weight, Phil. He might be approaching
may not get in the box.
25 pounds. So we got to make a decision here.
The wiener wannabe, right, is any other little dog, basically.
Yes, under 20 pounds. And we got an email from an owner of one of her dogs saying the dog's been eating crazy and he's up to 25 pounds.
It's a cute dog.
Are we still eligible to run? We have to make
Poor
the decision
thing.
if we can put this dog into the box without the dog getting stuck.
You guys the stewards on this one?
We're the stewards.
You're the stewards.
Yeah,
okay.
there's going to be some people.
Well,
That's Hashi, by the way. Hashi.
Hashi, yeah.
Yes.
It's been
looks like a German Shepherd to me.
That's a good-sized dog, isn't it?
That is. I don't think that dog's fitting in the box.
All right, so plenty of events, and once again, we do have a little carryover there in that jackpot pick 7 wager, and that starts in the first race on Friday night. The jackpot pick 7, just 20 cents to get in. Outstanding takeout of 15%. So get your 20 cents. That gives you 1 horse per race, and of course, you can pick more than 1 horse per race, and that will increase the size of your ticket, but it goes up pretty slowly at those 20-cent increments. And this carryover is going to attract some attention as it grows. And so
Right.
first race on Friday night, the jackpot pick 7 wager.
I think I changed my mind. It was a good DQ. Yeah, it was a good decision.
Oh,
You
really?
know, and
Yeah.
Oh, you
this
didn't
keep-
want to be involved in the correction
No.
segment.
this keeps the streak alive.
Yeah.
We've had a disqualification of a first-place horse every summer meet here in Emerald Downs.
Well, of course it's going to happen at
Makes
least.
sense.
there were
couple of
700 races.
couple of
a
corrections.
few years we had one.
Okay.
Gary, you referred to a horse before as Guardian
Angel. Guardian 1.
Guardian 1.
Well, I like the Angel.
Name of the
but
horse, yes.
And also, I asked him for a name, and I agreed with him when he called it the Great Monkey, and it's the Gold Monkey.
the Golden Monkey.
But the Gold Monkey's great.
And I was thinking of the Green Monkey, who was the most big.
Well, he can't
purchase.
handicaps by buyer speed figures, so he doesn't really
Buyer.
look at names at all.
I
That's
changed
not
my
true.
mind. Changed my
Not
true.
mind. Good DQ. I'm agreeing with you. You convinced me.
Good.
I don't think so.
Yes, you did. You convinced me.
No.
Yes.
The horse got wiped out, lost all chance.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
Victor-
You're right, though. When
Victor the
Riser
Predictor thought the
when
same.
Riser runs again, it's going to be a big
Yes.
day here
Good
at Emerald
decision.
Downs. So.
Yes.
Hope he draws outside this time, not inside.
And Mach 1 Rules did beat Barkley this time.
Charlie the bartender, whatever you say, that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you at the track this weekend at Emerald Downs. Emerald Downs Weekly, right here on NBC Sports Northwest. Have a great day.
Celtic weekend.
Trifecta King. Hot.
I'm
He's
gonna-
hot.
I'm going to wear my kilt
You're
this weekend.
hot.
Is that okay? Wear a
Picking
kilt?
those winners.
Oh,
Good
boy.
job.
Don't wear it on this show.
Yes.
I'm going to wear a kilt and do it the right way.
Do it the right way. How's that work? Wear underwear?
No underwear, right?
No.
Oh, no.
Water.
That's not my dog.